Hello guys, it's me, Daniel96, back here for another video, and today we'll be making our round 4 tips of the 2025 AFL season. So round 3 is complete, and just so you know, this video will be coming out a bit later, just a busy schedule, but hopefully this will be the last time I upload this late. By the next week, so it should be fine. So yeah, round 3 was a crazy round, that was for sure. Initially I thought we were going to do horrible in tipping, but we did our best, and yeah, we got 6 out of 8 tips correct, which I'll take. I mean, these first 2 were definitely gettable, but that's okay. So yeah, Essendon somehow beat Port, and yeah, Port look very concerned. Down here, the Bulldogs got it done against Carlton. I said that, but Carlton are just going to have a long year. And down here, Melbourne are going to have a longer year for sure, because they are in a bit of trouble, and Gold Coast look great. So did the Saints, they were too good. Hawthorn got a close one done in the wind, and Brisbane got a close one done with a great comeback. And then these last 2 games, yeah, the Crows, I was expecting them to win, they did. And the Dockers, yeah, they got the win. They needed that, and that was their first win of the season. Now looking at the predicted margins versus actual, you can see the varied list of results. Yeah, this round's pretty good for tipping, so I was actually pretty happy with that. I thought I was going to do a bit more terribly, but I'm starting to get some idea about where each team is at. So yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at round 4. So here we are, round 4. We are yeah, progressing through the season quite well. It's looking really good. This season's looking great. Still, anything can happen, as we know. We're just getting started. But let's just talk about this first game. I mean, buckle your seatbelts. This is already getting good, and this game is a great way to open this round. It's come early. It's between Collingwood and Carlton, playing at the G in what is one of the biggest rivalries, if not the biggest rivalry in the AFL. It is debatable, but this one has a lot riding. Starting with Collingwood, I mean, we know they lost their first round game against the Giants, but since then they've looked great, and yeah, they look pretty good. They look pretty good and deadly. And at the G, they're back home. They always play really well on that ground. They had a bye last week, so they should be refreshed up, and up against Carlton, who, as we know, are in lots of trouble. And this game won't be any easier. Crazy to see how this season's transferred. I mean, they lost against Richmond, they lost against the Bulldogs, they lost against Hawthorn. Now they're versing Collingwood, and yeah, things are not looking great, and their odds are not looking great at all. 10%. I do without doubt expect this one to be a close game. I think that will be certain. Carlton will have to give it their all. They need some sort of win, some sort of morale to boost their hopes. And yeah, this is the game for them. They need this one. If they don't, well, things will continue the way they are. And but yeah, that's the problem. I just can't see Carlton win this game again. I mean, they can, absolutely. It's a rivalry. I mean, if they have a chance of winning this game, they do. But I just can't not go against Collingwood. They look really good. I mean, they play at the G quite often. They play really well on that ground, and that is for certain. They just got a quality side, and honestly, they look like a potential top 4 side. So yeah, that is where my tipping is going to kick off. I am predicting Collingwood to get this rivalry win. I've always been wrong in these Collingwood Carlton tips. It's not just like previous years, but yeah, I feel like, again, something could happen this game, but I'm going to stick with my gut. I'm going to tip Collingwood to win by 15 points, and I'm rating this game a 95. I mean, you have to. Now looking at the Friday night game, and this one, well, at the start of the season, I had high hopes for this game, but looking at it now, it's, yeah, very one-sided, I reckon. So yeah, let's have a look. It's between Geelong and Melbourne, playing at James HBA Stadium, and what is going to be, I would say, an interesting clash. Yeah, two teams that need a win. Let's start with Geelong, and they won their first game against the Dockers at home convincingly, and then the past two games they haven't. I wouldn't say any red flags. I think they just had some bad performances, but nothing to be too concerned about. They're back at home playing against Melbourne, who are in a bit of trouble. They have still gone winless. They have a pretty bad percentage. They lost their 2 home games against the Giants and Gold Coast, and we don't know where this can lead to. And they're versing Geelong, and in the hardest ground. They don't have the greatest of records there. It's going to be a tough match. As I say, I do hope that this game will be a close one. I mean, it's going to be hard to tell. Anything can happen. But Melbourne just desperately needs something to go their way. Even a good performance might give them something. Just like, not necessarily win, but just a good performance. It might give them hope. But as it stands, I don't see them making the 8 this year. And Geelong need a win back. They lost 2 that they definitely could have gotten. But that fell away. And I think this is time for them. And you'll think surely they get this win, and that is where my tip is going to go. But yeah, I'm predicting Geelong to win by 54 points, and I'm rating this game at 75. Now looking down at the Saturday games, there's 3 of them, which is, some good games, especially this first one and the last one. Let's get into the first game, and this one is huge. I never thought Gold Coast Adelaide would be huge, but yeah, it's between Gold Coast and Adelaide, playing at People First Stadium. They're both of these teams are in the top 4 at this moment. No, but seriously, this game is one to look forward to, and really no clear winner. I don't know what's going to happen in this game, and I think whoever wins this game will give us a clear indication on where both the teams are at. Adelaide have looked very convincing. They have scored 100 points plus in both 3 of the games so far, and they have destroyed teams in their path. They look scary. But then again, same with Gold Coast. They've been just kicking goals, and just been smashing teams. They've only played 2 games, I know, but at this moment, anything can happen, and they've won their first 2 away games. Now they're playing at home, which in theory should be better for them. Yeah, really don't know what to expect from this game. I'm excited for it. It's on a Saturday afternoon, a bit stiff. Should be Saturday night. But I just am curious to see where both of the teams are at, and I think this will without doubt be a close game. This might be game of the round if it wasn't for the Collingwood-Carlton game, but yeah, this is definitely second rated best. And I'm just excited. I'm just waiting for the clock to tick, and really this one's going to be hard to tip for sure, because I would say Adelaide maybe has a chance, and they definitely could, but at the moment I'm just thinking Gold Coast. I'm just thinking Gold Coast will get this win. It's at home for them. They tend to play better at home, as we saw last year. It's not going to be an easy game, of course. The Crows look great, but I think Gold Coast will get this win and go 3 wins in a row to start the season. That would be huge for them. I'm predicting Gold Coast to win by 9 points, and I'm rating this game a 94. Now looking at the next game, and the twilight game we have at the G, and not as highly anticipated as the other games, but we'll have a look at it. It's between Richmond and Brisbane, playing at the G in what is going to be, I guess, hopefully a good game. Richmond, we know, won their first game at the G somehow. That was a crazy game, but since then they've been smashed, and it just really questions my thought. How did they beat Carlton? Honestly, that's one to look for. But they're back at the G, versing Brisbane, who haven't been in the Tigers at the G since 2009. The tips look very one-sided for obvious reasons. I still think Richmond will finish bottom of the ladder, although West Coast are also in that sort of position, so it's going to be either 18th or 17th for them. I reckon. They did get that one win, so that does help. But I think it'd just be a long year for Richmond. And yeah, Brisbane have started not great in terms of the first half, but their second half has been great. They've been coming back. A bit of, I guess, a bit of worry because, you know, they shouldn't rely on that. But this is a game that they should surely blow away and take a big win. They need a big win for their percentage. They sit third in the ladder at the moment with 3 wins, undefeated. And yeah, I think they'll continue to be undefeated. So yeah, for this tip, I have to go Brisbane. Obvious choice. If Richmond win, then that would be super crazy. I wouldn't even know what to think. But I have to tip Brisbane for this game to win by 73 points. And I'm rating this game as 67. Now looking at the Saturday night game, and I think this one's going to be huge as well. I mean, I wouldn't have thought so at the start of the season, but this one has got a lot riding. This one I can't wait for as well. This one's huge. It's between North Melbourne and Sydney, playing at Marvel Stadium on the Saturday night, and well, who knows what will happen. Starting with North, they did lose their last game against the Crows, but in saying that, they looked good. They looked good. They looked close within the game, and you know, they didn't like lose by that much. I mean, 36 points I think it was. They didn't lose by that much. If you're talking about a Crows side who's playing at home, it wasn't too bad for them. Up against Sydney, they had a bye last week I think, so they didn't play last week, but their last game was against Freo, which they got the win in a close one, so they finally got themselves a win, but they need more wins. Yeah, they definitely need some more. So a really enticing matchup here. North Melbourne playing at Marvel. They played really well there last time. And, you know, I feel like they could potentially beat Sydney. They could potentially beat them. And, yeah, if they do, that would be huge. That would be all over the media to talk about. Because, yeah, I'm hoping North themselves are back. I've always wanted to see North play well. And after many years, this could be their chance. I feel like they've still got momentum, they've got the side, and they're developing really well. You'd think surely they have the chances to win against the Swans at Marvel. I guess we just have to wait and see until Saturday night. But in terms of tipping this game, this one's a tough one. I do want to tip North just for an upset tip, but I'm gonna stick with the safe tip and go Sydney. I mean, I think it will be a close game, and I think North will put in a great fight. I think Sydney will just get over the top in a close game, I guess. But yeah, have to stick with the safe tip. I'm not too convinced yet, but that's where I'm going. So yeah, I'm predicting Sydney to win by 20 points, and I'm rating this game a 90. Now looking down at the Sunday games, and there's 3 of them of course, and some good matchups except for probably this first one. It's very one-sided. Let's have a look. It's between GWS and West Coast, playing at NG Stadium, and well, yeah, the tips are 99%, so I think that says a lot. The Giants started off really well against the Hawks last week and then fell away. I mean, to be fair, the wind was horrible, absolutely horrible conditions. I mean, yeah, it's unbearable to play. So you could say they got unlucky with that, but yeah, they do have 2 wins on hand, so it's been an okay start to the season, a pretty good start to the season. What hasn't been a good start though is West Coast, and they got smashed in the derby. I guess, yeah, they got close to Brisbane, but not really enough, and yeah, there's nothing telling me that they'll get close in this one. There's just nothing going their way. Couple of injuries, yeah, I just don't see any positive signs. I guess it gives the Giants a chance to boost their percentage. I mean, they definitely need it, and this is one of the games that they can do it. So yeah, this game's on a Sunday afternoon, no wonder why. I'm being so negative to West Coast, but like, I just don't see how they win. And if the Giants lose it somehow, if they fumble it, then like all the media's gonna talk about them. But this should be straightforward. This shouldn't be too hard to tip. And yeah, I think the obvious choice for this game is to tip GWS. And yeah, it's a very short review, but yeah, not really much to say. They're back at NG Stadium for the first time since opening round, and they played well against Collingwood there not long ago. And I think they'll do the same against West Coast. So yeah, I think the Giants will win by 70 points, and I'm rating this game a 63. Now looking at the next Sunday game, the Sunday afternoon game, and this one is gonna be, I reckon, huge. Yeah, a lot of backlash, of course, with one of those teams, and they need a win absolutely. And yeah, this one, there's a fair bit to talk about. It's between Port Adelaide and St Kilda, playing at the Adelaide Oval on the Sunday afternoon. And wowee, this one is gonna be, I reckon, pretty big. Starting with the Saints, they destroyed Richmond as expected. They got the win against Geelong. They look pretty good so far to start. They did get smashed by the Crows though at Adelaide Oval, so I guess that's the only thing. But yeah, they look pretty good so far. And as for Port, they've only beaten Tigers. They smashed the Tigers, but they lost against the Bombers at Marvel, which I reckon they should have won. It was just a poor effort by them, and yeah, they lost to Collingwood as well at the start. But yeah, all eyes will be on this one. They need to respond. They're wearing the retro Guernsey, which looks really cool as well, so that surely helps things out. No, but seriously, they need to win. They absolutely need to win. I mean, I'm just begging them to. I mean, if you guys don't know, I'm a Port supporter, so I'm just begging them to win this game. If they lose, then it can't get worse, can it? The Saints should have some confidence in them. Yeah, I feel like there will be a big chance in this game for sure. I'm just uncertain about how Port can respond, because yeah, can they respond? I don't know, but all they need is they need a win. They just need some win to get themselves off, because next week is gather round as well, so both of these teams will be back in Adelaide next week for their games. So yeah, I guess it's a test for that. But for this game, in terms of tipping, I can see people tipping the Saints for an upset, and yeah, I can't see that happening, but I have to stick with the safe tip, of course. I think surely Port can respond in this game. They're back at home. They're playing with the retro Guernsey. I mean, there's no excuses. There's no excuses. They just have to respond, learn from their mistakes, which they should. And you'd think surely they can get this win. And yeah, I'm predicting the margin to be 16 points. And I'm rating this game an 86. Finally, looking at the last game, and this is a great way to end the round. I'm excited for this one too. I'm excited for a lot of games in this round, but yeah, let's have a look at this one. It's between Fremantle and the Western Bulldogs, playing at Optus Stadium, and this one feels like a 50-50 game. Fremantle got the win in the derby, and yeah, they looked pretty good in that game too. They just needed a win, and they finally got it, which is, I guess, a relief for them after losing to Sydney at Optus in a close one, and then losing to Geelong. But I feel like they're back in it now, and yeah, I think they're back at Optus. They're versing the Bulldogs, who at this moment look pretty good this season. They won against the Blues, they won against North. They only lost to Collingwood by 6 points. They do have a big chance in this game. We'll wait and see what happens, but this is, yeah, a great way to end the opening round. I see this game being 50-50. So yeah, this one's going to be a really hard one to tip for sure. I guess we'll wait and see what happens. Yeah, I just want to see, because anything can happen really. I don't have much to say. It's hard to see where Fremantle are at the moment. They're very unpredictable. And I guess so are the Bulldogs. This is their first game that they're playing interstate, so we'll see how they play interstate. But for tipping this game, I'm gonna tip the home team for this game. I'm gonna go Fremantle. Another safe tip. I'm keeping it safe this round. It worked last week, and I think it'll work this week, but we'll see how it goes. I think surely Fremantle can get this win. And I think this will be a close game. I'm predicting the margin to be 5 points, and I'm rating this game an 88. And just like that, that is my round 4 tips done and dusted. I forgot to mention that Hawthorn and Essendon have the buys, so they're not playing this week. But yeah, I'm excited for this round, and yeah, 1 week before gather round, it's going to be huge. So yeah, this video will come out a bit later, but these tips are all accurate. So yeah, we'll see how we go. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next time. Bye bye.